friend of the podcast, Betsy Borst. Betsy says, seeing how this season has gone and the strategies that players have come in with, how do you think you would have done if you were on season 5? Which is a question I
I
believe
have
to you
thought
and not
about
me.
this a little bit, and when I looked at the cast, I had more reservations where that, in the Doctor Strange of it all, that maybe in the multiverse, there's a world where instead of going on the traders, I go to Survivor 50. There was a non-zero chance it could have happened. I think that when I saw the cast and I thought about it, I'm like, wow, I am the song of ice and fire. I am the person. I am from the old school, but I know the new school. Like I am the only person. I have a connection to every single person that's played this game. And I'm going to be basically, really set up well based off of how I see the perception of the Christians and the Ricks and Emily's, and where they're sort of like thought of like, ooh, the schemers, these people, the middle. I kind of feel like that I might have just been painted with that brush, where I think that it would have been, stop me if you heard this one before, a little bit of my reputation preceding me. And I think it's not necessarily a fair reputation, because I think that I'm nothing but a loyal person. I mean, that there are so many different places in my life that I could point to where I just out of loyalty and obligation, I'm doing things. So that I'm not somebody who's just like cutting people willy nilly.
Do you think you would have been more
I'm
embraced by a
solid.
particular side of the new era versus old era? Do you think one side would have tried to
I think
grab
that
you
the
more than the
old
other?
era would have. I think that they would have received me well. I think that there might have been people from the new era that were open to working with me, but I kind of feel like that I would be a little bit like people like be giving me the side eye, like Q, who's my favorite, but I think it would be like, hey, keep an eye on him. We can't trust him. He knows too many people.
It's interesting that the old era side, they really brought back like a very, maybe sans Suri, and I would even include Ozzy in this. They brought back a very similar type of survivor player,
Hmm.
which you are not that. Like I think the
Yeah.
old era, there wasn't a you representation in that. And then once you get to your 30s, you get your Rick and Christian. But that first half is there's no you there.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it would have been fun. I really thought that in the casting process when I was talking to them, I was like, okay, maybe they're looking for like somebody from the old school who's really going to be able to like keep up with the new pace of the game. But I think that that's probably overstated. I really say it's not that complicated. Even Colby was like, all right, we're doing this, we're doing this.
Yeah. If you had
Nobody's like
to,
in over their head.
no, people acclimated quickly, and you would be teaching people also. I think they're,
I would try not to be teaching people.
that
I think that'd be a
I mean, I think
mistake. I think
they'd
that'd
be
be a
asking.
mistake. It was one thing of like, on the traders, like, hey, Tara Lipinski, like, hey, you know what? Sometimes when you go for the shield, they're gonna like. I think that there was a role there, but I don't think that that would have been such a smart idea on Survivor 50.
Husband. Stephanie S3062. What in the hands of the fans twist has been the best and worst so far?
So, are we saying like just overall as the season as a whole, what twists have worked, or what things did people vote on have worked?
I interpret this as what twists they put in have
Yeah.
worked the
Well,
best.
I'll tell you what I think has worked in this season, and we could decide whether or not the fans voted for any of these things that are working or not working. Obviously, the double duos twist, we felt like that worked. People like that. It seems like almost universal feedback. Something else that I think has worked that I have liked has been the return of Exile Island, sort of like a little bit snuck in there. It has not really been a ballyhooed thing that fans voted on. Do you want Exile Island or not? But I feel like that almost all of the Exile Island segments so far this season, I feel like have worked. I am much more pro Exile Island than pro Journey. in terms of it being a fun part of the show and people get sent to Exile Island. We like that. It's you are kind of like you like it going to Exile Island now. It used to be when they started Exile Island, it's like you would cry, I don't want to go to Exile Island. And sometimes you cry on Exile Island.
Mhm.
But now you go to Exile Island, it's like, woohoo,
Yeah, not getting voted
vacation.
out.
Yeah, I can't get
Yeah,
voted out. It's the only place where
I
I'm
like it.
safe is Exile Island.
I'm in Survivor and always have been in Survivor for the character development. I'm not strategy minded or focused,
Mhm.
and I think that it gives a lot more personal when you're there. And even in the early days of Exile Island, it was giving personal. Where so and John and Aaliyah said this also is like the challenge is they used to kind of move the plot forward, like the
Yeah.
interpersonal challenges would cause conflict when you got to camp, which I thought like that to me feels like such like a miss to not be doing that all the time. And I think Exile Island, whether you learn something about you or you learn something about, you're only by yourself for 24 hours and you rethink the plan and you come back like Dan comes back and does Dan's funeral in Big Brother.
Mhm.
You work it. I want more of that for
Yeah.
sure.
So that's been good. I'm trying to think what was bad. Nobody liked the Blood Moon,
But
and
the Blood Moon could be tweaked. I like the essence of the Blood Moon, but I don't like the people who left in the Blood Moon.
yeah, I think that where the Blood Moon could have been better is maybe this is where the double duos twist ended up working. I think let them pick what their groups of 5 are going into the Blood Moon. And I talked about
Mhm.
having like a draft or something like that, or you pick the order in which you want to join those teams. But I think if the teams were a little more self-selected as opposed to randomly draw rocks out of the bag, I think that people would have hated the double duos twist if it would have been, all right, everybody reach into the bag, and then here is your randomly assigned person. And then your randomly assigned person, you are going to be voted out of the game because you're attached to them. I think that people would have not liked that.
No, and I think that lends itself to experiencing the Rachel Riley on Big Brother situation where you lose people you
Mhm.
really want. And not that there are people like people love Coach and people love Chrissy. I think that this just worked out in a great. I think that the onus is also put on them for you guys picked this. You wanted to run it together.
And seeing everybody come back. Like, I really do think we're going to have more returnee seasons. Let me ask you this question, okay? Between Survivor 50 and Survivor 60, so 9 seasons, 51 through 59, how many of those seasons will have returning players? Clip this for 5 years from now.
I think.
And wow, how cool will it be 5 years from now?
Yeah, we'll
Shout
still be
out to
here.
everybody in the year 2031.
Oh, God forbid. I hope I hope we're still doing this. I think that you'd have
Imagine,
to hope
yeah.
Australian Survivor had the right idea. The
How
first
do you think
4
Brandon's
seasons of the
hair will be
revival.
in 2031?
It's too long. I couldn't get in to get my haircut before Toronto. So
Mhm.
everybody who goes, you're watching this Monday night. You'll see this on Tuesday morning or whenever
Mm,
I see you on Tuesday.
yeah.
Um, Australian Survivor had the right idea. You do
Prayers
4.
up to Brandon's hairline for 2031 also.
This isn't going anywhere. This is like Jeff.
You're
He's
locked
staying
in.
until
You're calling
I'm
your
locked in.
shot. Okay.
This isn't going anywhere. I would be so sad. You do 4 and then you do a returning season. Let's get us to 55 and then let's do 60. Is you have 51, 52, 53, 54 new
So
people,
you think just
55.
one returning player season between 51 and 59?
Yes, but I also think let's throw some people in the other ones. We had talked about this in the
Yeah,
mailbag
mix it up.
before the
So
season.
the
Toss some
question
people
is
in.
number of seasons between 51 and 59 that will have returning players.
Give me 3 final answer.
Okay. I'll take the over. I think that we have I'm tempted to say 5. I'll say 4. 4 times
5
between
feels high.
51. I wonder if
Even 4 feels high.
yeah. I think that maybe we do at least one all returnees between 51 and 59. And I wonder if we do a couple captains
Captains. I love the
or
idea that
4, 4 people come back or a tribe of returnees.
we had said this in the last mailbag is I hope we get less rigid with who can cut. Like just bring, You see two people you want to bring back, just bring them back. They don't even have to be captains. They could, like, it doesn't have to be anything.
Yeah.
The way that I think we cited this is Australian Survivor does this super well, where it's just whoever, it's like Willy Wonka's golden ticket. It's like you're here
Mhm.
too for whatever reason.
Yeah. Like, let's, like, just come up with, like, 2, random, like, we're gonna bring back Say and Jelinski in a season. Like, are they gonna have, like, this huge unfair advantage over the 16 other new players?
No, and like the captain seasons of yore is they come in on a
Mhm.
separate boat. Don't even put them on the separate boat. They're in the same. They do the same pregame. They're in the
Mhm.
same with everybody
Like,
else. They're
"Hey,
just playing
Jelinski's
again.
here. Okay."
Yeah, why not? It's like what Bruce
Mhm.
did for 45. Is he didn't
Mhm.
come in on a helicopter, although we would have
Right.
loved it. I think that's the way to do it. Is just throw a couple people in when you
Yeah.
see fit.
Yeah.
I think it makes it
Here's
fun.
whatever. Just bring them. Just,
Whatever.
like, well, let's have fun.
Let's have fun. And Jelinski on season 51 or 52, he could be there. I haven't heard from him. Have you talked to him in the last 3
I
days?
typically I don't talk to Jelinski, as regularly as I would like,
Sure.
you
He's
know?
a couple time zones away, and it is
My
9:55 in the morning.
schedule
I
is
would call him.
bare.
He has not texted me, um,
Yeah.
but he could be there. We don't know.
I
Shay
did
could
go
be
to
there.
the Super Mario, Galaxy movie yesterday.
Is this a connective thought to Jelinski or
No,
just in
just,
general?
talking about my schedule being a bear.